Well, hey there, guys. Welcome. This is Rachel Krider. You've tuned into today's episode of Mind Power. Quick little mention, sunglasses not my normal look. I've had eye surgery and I got to wear these bad boys for another week or so. And anyways, I'm so excited that you guys have tuned in. Today we are talking about really how to choose an appropriate online business for you, to not get caught up in some of the gimmicks that are out there, etc. And we've got a very special guest who's going to be joining us, Mary Scott. She's had some exceptional results in the online business world, particularly this past month. Well, in the last 27 days of business activity, Mary has achieved a profit of 101,000 US dollars in 27 days, and she's going to be coming out to share of some of her experiences. She's been in the online business space for about 8 years or so. She's been with our company for 4 years. She had her 4-year anniversary just a couple of days ago. So look forward to hearing from Mary's experience. But before we bring her out, let me bring out Shane. We're going to go through some nuts and bolts as to how to choose an appropriate business for you. Let's go. Oh, Shane.
All right.
I lost my words at the end there. Easy
for
Tiger.
you to say. Welcome, everybody. And here we are, Mind Power. We are talking about business. And really today, where the rubber hits the road. Is anybody really getting results? Yes, a lot of them are. A lot of people are out there getting results. Is it a product you can stand behind? Is it something you feel good about? Do they have a product that's separate from the business? If the answer to this question is yes, and it's when you look at the compensation plan, it's like you're like, yeah, I can see how I would actually make a lot of money doing that. That sounds great.
Do the numbers add up? Do they
the numbers
up?
add up.
Do the math.
And does the industry actually support, like personal development, does it actually support like the products that we have, like with the cost points of our products and our conferences? Are they comparable to other things out there? Yes, right? So you got to make sure that some of this stuff is actually makes sense, is in place. But then from there, it's where does the rubber hit the road and how does this particular opportunity stack up? And we've got Mary online. She's been with us, you said 4 years.
4 years.
So let's bring, yep, I can see that we have her right over here. So,
And Shane's going to conduct the interview here. So let me bring Mary out. Big congratulations, Mary, our company's newest 100K club member. When you reach this level, basically you've earned in excess of 100,000 US dollars in a single month. This is profit. It's not sales. This is money in her bank account. And she's achieved it within just 27 days. When you reach this level, you get a beautiful pin with like 100 diamonds.
who cares?
And
I'll take the money. Let's bring Mary
But
out.
anyway, bring Mary out. Congrats, Mary. Could not be more excited for you and for Jeannie, because I know that it's a team effort with you guys. But big congratulations.
Thank you, Rachel. That's awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
I'm
having
going to hand you over to Shane. He's going to conduct a little interview, draw out some information. You're coming to us live there, Australia, on the Sunshine Coast, and this just happened yesterday. We had a Skype conversation last night, and you said, "Guess what? I've nailed it!" And yeah, so big celebration. But let me hand you over to Shane.
All right.
Thanks. Hey, Shane.
Well, very cool. Congratulations, Mary. You're a rock
Thank
star.
Yeah, I wondered what it would feel like to be a rock star, so it's pretty cool.
Well, I would say so. A lot of people would love to be sitting where you're sitting right now. So, this is Mind Power. We're talking about business on Tuesdays, right? And right now, a lot of people are looking for a business. They're looking for a way to no longer be at the effect of what many people are dealing with right now. And of course, going online, that's your first thing. What prompted you to seek out an online business?
Well, at the time when I went looking, I was working offshore in detention centres in a little island called Nauru, and in the tropics, extremely hot conditions, day and night. And I did that for 3 years, and my contract ended, and I thought, what do I want to do? Honestly, I'd been a bit outspoken, and so I don't think they were going to ask me back anyway, to be honest.
You?
Outspoken?
Mary? You being
Nah.
outspoken? I can't even imagine what you're talking about.
So I actually, what happened was I got the plane home on my last day, and as I was driving home, my boss rang me and said, "You won't be required." That's actually how it happened. And so I was like, okay, well, and I knew straight away the only way to make decent money is to work for yourself. I already knew that. I'd had a psychotherapy practice in Melbourne for 16 years, Melbourne, Australia. So I knew that, except that with that business, there was a real ceiling on it. As long as I had my butt on the seat, I was earning money. And there's only so many hours in a day. So I went looking online, and look, it was an absolute no-brainer for me, Shane. When I saw that the products were personal development, I was in, because I've been crazy about personal development and the study and of that whole 6 inches between the ears. And I did my first personal development course in 1972 in Dunedin, New Zealand. And back then we called it an encounter group, for goodness sake. It was pretty ferocious. It was a bit full on. So personal development's been in my heart for a long time, and I know that it's got the capacity to change lives. So when I saw this, I was in. So
Right on.
It was an open.
Well, a lot of people find themselves looking. So, I'm sure you looked at things out there. How did you delineate whether or not this was a real business, something that would stand the test of time, something you could actually make money at? How did you kind of weigh it up and know that you wanted to actually, I mean, you have to risk time, you have to risk money, how did you know you're willing to take the risk?
Well, I had spent several years, I think it's 4 or 5 years, in a multi-level marketing business. I don't know when it was, 203, something like that. So I knew a little bit about those sort of compensation plans, and I knew if you had the right commitment, the right plan, the right product, that you could be very successful. So I saw I did see a few affiliate programs, but to be honest, that wasn't enough money for me. I've seen people do a lot of work for very little money in affiliate programs. Definitely not the road, the path I want to go down. And I didn't want to be in multi-level marketing again, because we were very successful back then, and the company pulled the rug, and it changed our lives forever. We went bankrupt. It just down the hill. And so I have to say that I pretty well swore black and blue that I would never, ever do that sort of business again, let alone online. So I had a bit of fear of, like, I was a bit gun shy, Like, so I was I was bringing lots of skepticism to the table, and I was like, who are these? Are they the real? I really was, and the guy that interviewed me at the time, he was pretty straight down the line, and I took forever to make up my mind, and I tested his patience right to the nth degree, and I kept listening to you guys and thought, I don't know, what will I do? And in the end, I actually just trusted my gut and my life experience, because I could see the product. The product was going to change lives. And look, to be honest, I wanted to make money. I wanted to make heaps of money. At my time in life, going bankrupt, it's very hard to recover from that. So, but money's all very well. If you're not passionate, you're not really in it. What's the point? I'm very passionate. I love this business. Every day I get up. Today I got up at 3:30. I've got things to do, people to talk to, and that's pretty well what I do. I jump out of bed like there's reason to be excited. Some people think I'm a bit of a crazy woman, but I'm very passionate about life. I love to have a good laugh. I love things at work. I love mentoring people. And, I couldn't be more fortunate to be in this business. I feel grateful every day I wake up, and I'm so grateful. Truly.
That's awesome. I get, I mean, I don't know. When I found the company I got started with, I looked at a couple other multi-level marketing companies. I looked at the company I was looking at, and I could see it for what it was. And I just thought, I can see what it is. And from where I'm sitting, it looks pretty damn cool. And I think I want to do it, and I think I like these people, and like you know, the gut, right? Just that gut decision to move forward. You know, I've been doing this since 1998. I've been building the same team since 1998. Nobody's had to requalify. Nobody's had to anything, right? So much of our life, Mary, is choices that we make. Back in 1998, when I was getting started with this, I had everybody telling me, you know, these things never last more than however long, right? And I just thought, well, even if that's true, why is it true? And is it possible to create something that actually stands the test of time? And I decided that if I was going to do this, I was going to discover the answers to those questions. And, you know, we've been building this for a long time, but you've been here for 4 years, Mary. First of all, how long did it take you to start creating some success in your business? And, you know, where do you see it? I mean, what's it taken for you to get where you're at?
Consistency, commitment, passion.
So there's real work to be done.
Yeah, you got to roll up your sleeves, and I've done that today.
I'm out of here. I thought this was going to be something for nothing. What is this? So, you know, so it's not, we're going to generate all the leads. We're going to prospect all your people. We're going to close all your sales. We're going to fulfill the product. You're going to get started, and you are going to do absolutely nothing and just wait for the millions to come in. That's not this. You actually do real work.
Dream on.
So you did that $101,000. You did real work to achieve that.
I did.
Yeah. Congratulations. Does that feel good to actually do some work to achieve that?
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, what was more important in retrospect, looking at this last month, I had real flow, Shane. The flow was there. The universe supported everything. And I never really think about that I'm doing work. You know, you've just kind of went, work? What the hell is he talking about? This is a passionate journey. And I never get up thinking, oh, I've got to go to work. I'm just, I'm so excited about what can happen every day. And I see people around the world that are having life-changing events because of our product, our community. And I've never seen anything in my life that lines up like this does. State-of-the-art product, state-of-the-art systems. You, for one, Shane, have invested a lot of money in having the very best of the best, and I'm so grateful for that. And then when you've got that, all that does is it encourages me to be better than I am. What's that saying of Jim Rohn's? You know, don't wish it was easy, wish you were better or something. That's my most favourite saying. And I want to be better every day at this business and my interpersonal skills. I can be a lot better than I am. I've still got room to grow, you know. And if you can't feel your stretch, you're not growing. So, you know, you have to feel the stretch and you have to know that you're growing. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. That's always been my...
Yep. So you just made $101,000 in the last 27 days. When did things really break through for you? Like, how long were you in the business before you had your sort of first wave of success where you started to feel like, wow, there's some power here. This thing is working for me?
I was a bit slow because I got into the the personal development program. I wanted to see if they were the real deal, to be honest. Yep. And I was like, wow, these are really cool, you know. And in the first year, I made $90,000. $90,000. Yeah, just under the 100 for the year.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought that was pretty cool because working in the detention centres, my best year there was, I think it was about 130, but I sweat tears of blood to do that job. You know, 16-hour days, stinking hot conditions, away from home. You know, like, you just can't compare it. 90,000 at home, living where I live on the Sunshine Coast, the most beautiful place that I had never even explored because I was never here. I was in a shuttle going to the airport, I was on a plane, or I was on the ground running a team of 65 people with the sweat running down every crevice I've got, you know, so it's very different, isn't it?
Thanks for that mental picture, Mary. What skill sets coming into this? Like, I mean, were you somebody that was already sort of lined up, like with your previous world skill sets to come into an online business and just take off, or did you have a few things to learn?
My learning curve was vertical. I had, in terms of technical expertise about social media, I did not have a clue, seriously. And if it wasn't for the training that we provide here, I would probably have been out the back door a long time ago. I didn't even really know how to put a post on Facebook, to be honest.
Yep.
And so how I taught myself was I got the training videos up on my iPad and I played and paused and actioned on my computer. And it took me a hell of a long time to do that because that's a slow boat to China, right? Especially when you're double checking yourself all the time. And I just kept doing that. I just kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it. And my
That's how you learn, right?
I'm sorry.
I mean, how else do you learn? I mean, that's how you do it. Yeah, congratulations. Good on you for actually holding yourself to a level of discipline to make sure that you were actually actioning what you learned and actually really doing the thing, because I think that's a big key to success. If I'm watching this, I'm thinking, what's the difference between Mary and me? If Mary could do it, shouldn't I be able to do it? Maybe. Are you willing to pause the video while you execute the last thing that it just said for you to do? And if you are, you can probably learn. But if you're the person who's just going to watch the whole video while you're multitasking on Facebook, and then get done with the video and try to do what you were just shown how to do, and then you can't do it, and then you decide that it's too hard or that the training doesn't work, right? What would you say seriously, where does the rubber actually hit the road with creating success in a business like this? Is it some skill set that you brought to the table? Is it some superhuman level of determination and just business activity, or is it something simpler than that?
I think it's really simple. Yes, at 61 when I came into the business, I had a wealth of knowledge. I had a lot to bring on and many levels. But skill, well, computer skills, well, that was all very questionable. And I'll tell you what's simple about it. You just got to keep doing the action. And what I find is that some people give up at that moment when they're about to be successful. They bail. And I've said to people, where are you going? Oh, no, there's that real doom and gloom that I'm not one of those people. I've been pretty optimistic most of my life. Perhaps not in my early years. I was a bit kind of held down a bit with my childhood and everything, but I think that's really shaped me to have consistency. If someone came into this business and was consistent, followed the training, they'd be successful. That sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
Well, it's reality, but there's following the training and then there's following the training. And these days of everybody multitasking and nobody can put their Facebook down for 10 minutes, if that's you're not going to, I don't know what you're going to learn. You're just not going to learn anything, right? You actually have to have some discipline, some self-discipline to do specific tasks to get the specific results, right? It is not a something for nothing scenario. So, but when I was looking for a business, that's actually what I was looking for. I wasn't interested in we're going to make all the money for you. We're such gracious people that we're going to allow you to pay us to get started. And then you sit back and do nothing while we make these millions for you. I didn't want that. I wanted to learn a set of skills that I could take anywhere. And I wanted it to not just make money for me, but I wanted to develop myself with skills that I could earn more money, because I knew I could make money by turning a wrench, but I was tired of that. I wanted to learn how to make money doing something else. And that's what I found in this industry. I thought, worst comes to worst, these guys are going to teach me how to market. These guys are going to teach me how to what their system is and how all that works. And if worst comes to worst, maybe it all goes by the wayside. Maybe I make money, maybe I don't, but I'm learning some things that these people are using to make a hell of a lot of money. It can be nothing but, tools in the toolbox moving forward for me in life, right? And that was something I was very excited about. But I did have a specific question I wanted to kind of get to with you, because I think you're uniquely qualified to answer this question and many others, but this question in particular, personal development. A lot of people don't really know what personal development is. And you know what? You can explain it. We did our 17-day personal prosperity system live on Facebook, had over 50,000 people go through the program, and had, believe it or not so surprisingly, unbelievable results come from so many of these people that have gone through the program, like major light bulb moments in their life. But if you don't know what personal development is really, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around until you actually sit down and read the book or do the course or go to the seminar. And then you're like, wow, I know what it is experientially, but it's still not super easy to explain to somebody else. But you're somebody, Mary, you've been doing personal development nearly as long as I've been alive. What did you say? It was 1972 you did that?
Yeah.
I was born in 1971, right? So if I was there with you at that, I would have been the 1-year-old baby crying in the corner, right?
Yeah.
But you choose to be here, and you said that you didn't start working your business right away because you wanted to experience the products. Because you're smart enough to know that business makes money is one thing, feeling good about the product is another thing, and it really takes both components if you're going to be long-term successful. You want to experience the products. So with your background, and all the years you've been in personal development, I mean, what the heck is the difference? Why are our products really better than anything else out there? I mean, are they really worth the money that we sell them for? What are other comparable things out there in the marketplace that sell for, I mean, what's sort of when you look at it just as products in the marketplace, our products versus everybody else, why in the heck would you choose to represent what we do?
Wow, such a good question, Let me just go back a little bit. When I came into the business, I was a bit suspicious. I was incredibly curious. I wanted to really I wanted to take you to task, if you like. I wanted to see if your program was different. That I did have that in my mind. I was like, what the hell's this yank about? Seriously. And that's the truth. And I've been asked that question a lot of time. I can go online, I can do a personal development course online, and I can even get a certificate to say that I've done that. Why would I spend this money with you? And I would say, wow, that's like comparing eating apples and cheese. They taste very different. You've got a very different aftertaste in your mouth from both of those. And you can't compare this to something that you supposedly participate online. And, let's face it, there's distraction, there's a phone, people are not going to sit online and do the course. They may, and I've got a little saying that I've been saying for many years, to know a thing and not to do is not to know. And so for me, what's really attractive about our products, why do they stand alone? And I've walked on fire. I've done all sorts of things. I've sat in caves. I've done chanting, all sorts of crazy things. Why is ours different? You've got a global community that is so willing to share in the training calls their experiences, answer questions in real time. I can have people go through the 17-day program. I'm their mentor. They can ask me questions. They can ask you and Rachel and Greg questions. What I find about some of these other courses is it's like a pressure cooker. You go and you do this course, you might do Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and let me tell you, you'll pay thousands for that, and you will sit with thousands, those courses, there's no room to move. You can't move your chair left or right, and your backside gets absolutely, oops, you don't have a cushion. It's pretty accelerated. You come out of there on Sunday night and you go, what the hell was all that? And there's no integration. I think the power in our course, for me, this is very much a personal perspective, is when you start to action what you've learned, that's where the integration is. That's when you can make changes in your life. Now, I'll give you an example. My father used to talk about money being the root of all evil. And I did your live course about wealth creation. And I went in thinking a bit like the pressure cooker. Oh, yeah, what's it going to be about? It was in Auckland, New Zealand. I remember it like yesterday. And it challenged my very belief about money. And when I look back now, on that day, I actually think I did believe that money was the root of all evil and that I had no right whatsoever having it. And when I look at it today, just bring it on. I want to earn $1 million. Why not? Why not me? And the integration time that course, we discussed it on training. People were allowed to talk about results. They were able to share them for many months. And here am I 4 years later, still talking about that course. Am I talking about the accounting course I did in, what was it, 1998? Just to pick a year. Why not? I think that you can talk about the course, talk about your growth, like that 17 day that you did on. What I was noticing and what I observed was that you then avail yourself to questions. And I was watching you come on there talking about deep personal things, tears of liberation. Some of those people were liberated. How good is that? You can be liberated online. Wow. And then if you belong in the community, you can come back. You can integrate with them and you can allow others to be liberated as well. Look, if you're sitting at home, you think, oh, look, that's extreme. It's not. Because now you have time to digest, take the action, and integrate and become that person. And I think the other special thing, and special a bit weak really, I think the profound thing is we can always ask you, hey, Greg, I don't know another company where owners are so accessible. And in that multi-level marketing, we were right up there. We had a downline of 2,000. I think the biggest month we had there was 25,000, and the owners had no clue what was going on in the field, even though they. And when the rug was finally pulled, I thought, why the hell did they do this? And here, you guys have got your feet in the field. It's quite unique. And I know I'm digressing a little bit. It's a very good point. And the stark difference between that company and our company here is, it's so wide you've fallen, you're down into a deep hole. And I think if you want real change, you have to be prepared to actually do what it takes. So do the courses. Like I said, if you can't feel the stretch, you're not growing. If you're online just going in every now and again, there's no commitment in that. And there's certainly people are doing it. And they might be free courses. And I don't believe there's any. I used to think there was. Yeah, I won a trip to Hawaii. More than once, really. And I didn't have any money when I got there. And I was like, well, being here in Hawaii with all these wonderful things. I was asked to go on this helicopter ride, and I said, oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't have the money to go on a helicopter. And, there was some things thrown in with that, but it wasn't a free lunch. You have to do the work. And I think our allow you to work. they allow you the integration period. And yes, you do have your Tony. He attracts thousands and thousands of people around the world. I think his first book at age 25, a remarkable man. He's changed a lot of lives. I had a friend a couple of years ago that spent $1,000 on Tony. And I said, several months later, you know, how's it going? You know, how did that course work for you? And she said, it was great at the time. And then I was waiting, what was going to come next? Now, I know that that's only one person, and, you know, all kudos to Tony. He's done some incredible work, and he gives back to the community big time with all the work he does. And that may be absolutely fine for some people, and some people do change their lives, and that's maybe because they allow themselves the integration time, because I think you have to integrate your knowledge, and it's a bit like learning technical skills, repetition. Keep doing it. Yep. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And that's why I think the business is easy, because it is about duplication, and be a willing student. And with the personal development courses, I know this is a long-winded answer, but the integration time, I can't emphasize that enough. You know, that course for 5 days about wealth creation, it changed my life totally. I never dreamt in a million years that I probably had some goals about living the way I live now. I live in a beautiful place, got a swimming pool out there, it's a lovely day, it's supposed to be winter, look at me, I'm sitting here. I couldn't wish for anything, you know, more in my life, to be honest. I've got good health, I'm a crazy yoga nut, partially due to this company and the leadership's passion, the leadership's passion for hot yoga, and even in lockdown, the spare room.
I've got a quick one for you. You've made 101,000 US. You're an Aussie. What does that, with the exchange rate that's going on right now, what does that correlate to in Aussie dollars?
I think it's about 158,000, Rachel. Yeah, I think it's round about that. Yeah, that's
wow.
Pretty crazy.
I mean, that's more than what you were earning in an entire year out there in the Pacific, managing 65 people. That's more than most, you know, well-paid executives working in Sydney would earn. You've done that in a month. How does that make you feel? Like when you actually think about it, how does it make you feel?
Grateful.
Well, we are grateful for you. Your leadership, your stand, just who you're being. I mean, you're hilarious. Everyone in the community adores you and Jeannie. And I couldn't be more grateful to be on this journey with you guys. We're going to have a Zoom catch up and a glass of champagne to celebrate because it's obviously with COVID happening, we can't be getting together in person right now. But yeah, I just wanted to pipe in and say that. Shane, anything else coming up for you?
Yeah, no, I mean, just congratulations. I mean, holy crap. And I appreciate everything that you were saying there. I mean, you know, it is what was coming for me while you're talking, Mary, is you can read a book, right? Great. You read the book. Now you know the stuff. But are you going to integrate into your life? The answer to the question is no.
Right.
You can go to a seminar and you learn a bunch of stuff and you come home and it's great and it's really great. But are you going to integrate it into your life? Believe it or not, the answer to the question is still no. What the hell is the difference? What does it take for people to integrate this stuff into your life? It comes from one thing. We are social beings. We take our cues from other human beings. It's very difficult for most people to go off on their complete own journey and path in life and not model the people around them. Correct. You want to change your life, you got to change what's influencing you unconsciously. And when you join a community that is based around a personal development program and you actually have real communication, interaction with the community, and that community collectively has taken a stand to live life based on certain fundamental principles. Let's just chalk it up and say, Let's live life optimistically and purposefully and mindfully every day. Let's just say that's all it is, right? What is the difference in your life going to be? Well, sure, you could have read a book on being mindful or being optimistic, and that's going to, 10 days from now, you're not even going to remember the book. But when you're part of that community, it's all about the integration. It is all about the integration. And you play hell, integrate. Why did I have such a miraculous transformation in my life when I started personal development? I read the same books everybody else reads. It was the specific individuals that I was connected to at the time that were also on that same journey further ahead than I was, and the stand that they were taking in life to live an exceptional life and to be different than the average, right? Not in any way that's unpleasant, in ways that are awesome, right? And that's what did it for me. And that's what we work to build here every single day. Mary, that's what you get to do here. And I think that's why people like being distributors here, because you're not just a distributor of product. You get to actually be a part of that stand. You get to be a part of that reason why somebody wakes up in the morning and they want to be better than they were yesterday. And they want to create that awesome outcome, right? You hear a lot online, people flexing their lifestyle and all this stuff. It's like, it's a bit of a derogatory term, and I get where that comes from. And you see a lot of it out there, and it's a bit ridiculous on a lot of levels. But what isn't ridiculous is people transforming their life by design to turn their life from something that was a prison or a torture chamber to some degree to something that they can't wait to get out of bed to experience. And that is what it is all about. And you're not going to do it by reading a book. And you're probably not going to do it by going to a seminar. Now, if you go to a seminar and you got 20 of your friends that go to the same seminar and you guys come back and you stay in a mastermind group after that, sure, you could.
Yep.
But if you're just by yourself out there in the world, forget about it. Don't forget about it, but understand what I'm saying, the value in being a part of a community that takes a stand. And I see what my job is here, Mary, and I see it's exactly what you do that's creating your success. You think you're creating success by dialing your prospects, by placing your ads, by doing all this. Yes, that is mechanically, but what you're really doing is you're taking a stand for people's greatness. People want their life to be awesome. And you're the person saying, yes, you can. Here's how. This is what it takes. And you can have it, right? If you're willing to be a little bit on purpose. And that's it, man. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. What's any final thoughts, Mary, before we wrap up here?
Well, I think you have to be willing. You have to be willing. And years ago, I did a conflict resolution course, and the conflict resolution network around the world, who get asked lots of times, to come and resolve conflict at all levels, government levels. They said that if the two parties are not willing, they're not willing to do that resolution with them. And I think the same here. You have to be the willing student. And I had a part of me that thought that I ought to know this. I think it's something about my age. I hear a lot of people my age saying that, and they don't ask for help until it's completely gone to custard. However, I think you have to be willing to be the student, not reinvent the wheel, follow the process. And, if you're listening to this today and, it's all right for her, blah, 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 that whole kind of thing that goes on, I think you have to be prepared to look at yourself and say, what is it that I want? And, the money's fantastic, but in a way, I love the money. It's what the money can do for you.
Yep.
How you can shape your life. You can I've got control of my life. I've got control of my destiny. I can determine every day how I want to think. It's always a choice. Always going to be a choice what you do. And you don't want to be at the cause of someone else. You really want to be leading your own charge, beating your own drum. And this community allows me to be authentically who I am, rather than the same as everyone else. I like it that we can be just who we are. And there's a great word that I love that I use is having the essence. You know, when I'm talking to you, I get your essence. I get that you are coming from the best part in you, talking to the best part in me. And I think that's all about essence. And
Yep.
I think that's a cool thing. And I see that a lot in this community. And, you know, it's an easy system. However, you've got to be prepared to do the work. Oh, my goodness. You know, let me say, if I saw that ad that you were talking about before, you know, we'll do it for you, I would run like hell the other way. I would run as fast as my legs could take me, because I've seen that before, and I've seen people go down that rabbit hole and they never come back up again. They never trust anyone again because they're completely fleeced. And I think be discerning. Doesn't matter what business you choose, be discerning. And it's a very powerful thing to surround yourself with people that are positive, a company that supports all the systems, but not just the systems, the human beings. We have really cool personal sharing that is only made possible because of the three of you that are running this. Well, I'm not even going to say running. You're leading the charge, and I'm happy to run to the charge. You know, this last month, I've just loved the charge. I love the charge, and that's what excites me. I've hardly slept the last few nights. My excitement has just been through the roof. I've just, you know, if you talk to anyone that knows me, excitement's so powerful. It's so contagious, you know. And I surround myself with people now that are positive-minded, that are willing to be vulnerable, to say how it is, and willing to take it right up to you. And I like that, because that gives me plenty of room to grow, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm not surrounded by a lot of yes people. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Done that before. It's boring as bat, you know what. You know? So I'll end with if you can't feel the stretch, you're not growing. And if you don't grow, you may as well curl your toes up. And don't be one of these people that are tiptoeing through life hoping to safely make it to death.
That is for sure. That is so beautiful, Mary. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing your thoughts and your wisdom with us. You've built yourself a hell of a success story here. You're certainly not alone in that. There's a lot of folks here in the community that have been doing that are doing it, and are in the process of creating their first success story. But you know what? It's a beautiful thing, because we're leading alongside each other. We're trying to create something here that's very special and very unique, and anybody can choose to be a part of it. Mary, you got started here like anybody else, and you made a choice of who you wanted to be in the community, what you wanted to create in your life, and it's exactly what you've been able to do. And to me, that is the test of a real opportunity, is that it gives you the power to do that, and it stands the test of time as well. And that's what we're creating here. Mary, you are a big part of that, so a big thank you to you and to Jeannie as well. I know that she's your cheerleader there in the background, making sure that you keep your head screwed on straight.
Yeah, she's that would be very remiss of me not to mention Jeannie. She's a real powerhouse herself, and I couldn't do what I do without her enormous support. And it doesn't matter what crazy hour I get up, she's always leading the cheer squad. And thanks, Jeannie. I know you're listening. And look, I have to say thank you to you, Shane, to you, Rachel. Greg, I'm sure you'll listen to this. I'm so grateful to have found you. I love what we're doing here, and let's rock the boat some more.
Sounds good. Sounds good to us. Well, all right, Mary. Well, thank you so much for coming out. And I'm sure everybody's appreciated what you had to say there. So big congratulations once again from all of us, and just keep up the good work. So with
Thank
that,
you.
guys, we are. I mean, what's happening here, Rach? I mean, it's exciting times.
It really is, and I'm just I feel a little bit emotional, actually. I'm a bit lost for words. Mary, I've really enjoyed listening and just taking it all in. You know, I guess getting swept up in your excitement and your energy and all of that. It's a beautiful thing. I love you. You too, Jeannie.